Once again, Alexander Volkanovski takes the throne. After consecutive knockout defeats, many questioned the featherweight GOAT's legacy heading into UFC 314 and wondered if he could still maintain his chin or if the game had finally caught up with him. However, Volk dispelled any doubts as the cage door closed. Volkanovski walked Lopez down and released his grip as soon as the opening bell rang, displaying aggression. Lopez had his moments during the competitive bout. Volk dominated the most of the fight, setting the tempo, combining vicious combinations, and repeatedly rocked Lopez. He most famously dropped Volk in the second round and delivered a number of clean power shots throughout the 5 rounds. It was obvious that Volk had done enough by the time the last horn sounded. He was given the featherweight title once more after the judges decided to give him a unanimous decision victory. Volk wants to regain its position as quickly as possible. He was presented with 2 potential opponents. UFC matchmakers assured Pitbull that the victor of this bout will receive the next opportunity to win the title, according to Yair Rodriguez and Moza Eblov Rodriguez, who both defeated Pitbull at the same event. Do you think Volkanovski and Yair should rematch? Comment below.
Obviously, you've got guys like Mosva, who's undefeated. I'd love to take that 0, you know what I mean? Like, we've got to see what the UFC say. I heard, I've seen him trying to get other fights. I don't know, is that right? Like,
there was rumors that he was going to fight Pete.
But I even seen him tweeting that he wants to fight someone in May and doing all this sort of stuff. So maybe he's had the chats and they want him to have one more fight. I don't know. So I don't know that situation, but I'll see how things are. I'd love to say, I told you I want to get straight back in there. I still do. But I'm going to have to maybe look at a couple of things.
Yair seems to think you would go to Mexico to fight him in that big Guadalajara show in September. Is it deal?
September. I mean, if everything's good, I'd probably like to go soon, quicker than that, to be honest. That's probably the second fight. So maybe it can be, if I'm good, maybe I get the fight, maybe July. Mosva, you know what I mean? Like, you take if they want to do that, if they want to quickly go and I feel good, maybe quick turnaround with Mosva if I don't have busted hands. We'll see.
With his most significant victory to date versus Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett silenced a lot of skeptics. Chandler emerged victorious in the first round, controlling Pimblett for most of the frame and closing the distance with his explosiveness and experience. However, Pimblett began to change pace in the closing seconds of that round, standing back up and applying pressure with deft moves. After the second round, it was all Paddy. By grabbing Chandler's back and hitting him with slicing elbows, he demonstrated his underappreciated grappling skills, picked his shots well, and burned Chandler up on his feet. After Pimblett settled into his cadence, Chandler was at a loss for words. The deal was clinched in round 3. The referee had no choice but to wave it off when Paddy severely injured him, knocked him down, and launched an unrelenting ground and pound attack. Many predicted that this bout would be his hardest test to date, and it ended in a dominant one-sided manner. 5 of his victories in the UFC have...
Yeah, people keep counting him out, but he keeps looking better and better and better every time he shows up. Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? And probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting top guys. Yeah.
Paddy and the one and only Colby Covington got into a fight after the event.
Bro, you're fighting scrub. You guys are 2 and 6.
I'll come and slap you, and you'll be... I'll come and slap you. Zip this shirt up, you little
mate. You're a bum. You guys are 2 and 6. Remember that. Remember that. You're a scrub. You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
Lad, what are you on a 3-fight losing streak?
You did fraud check so quick.
Hey. Maggot. Keep putting your act on you.
When speaking out about the contentious officiating at UFC 314, Dana White didn't hold back. The finish by Dan Ige over Sean Woodson was one instance that sparked the most criticism. Dana seems to agree with the many competitors and spectators who believed that the stoppage was far too early. He criticizes a number of the calls made that evening, describing the refereeing as terrible and lamenting the irregularity of the fight stoppers. Dana has always been outspoken when it comes to officiating, and it's easy to understand why he felt particularly irritated this time. A few dubious incidents like that can ruin a whole card and affect a person's career.
There was a couple strange stoppages on the prelims for 2 different reasons. Obviously, the Dan Ige, Sean Woodson, and then the Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa fight. I'm curious if you saw those 2.
I didn't see that one. I saw the end when they were, when Elkins was getting up and they were, my room was madness tonight, but I agreed that the Ige fight was stopped too soon.
I thought the judging was atrocious tonight. I'll just leave it at that. It was atrocious.
In the lightweight division, Paddy Pimblett is making things more intense. Paddy quickly responded to Ilia Topuria's recent statement that he would be happy to welcome the former featherweight champion to 155 and show him what the lightweight division is all about after Topuria showed interest in a future bout. Furthermore, the timing couldn't be more ideal, as Paddy might be only one victory away from a title opportunity. However, Paddy wasn't finished yet. Additionally, he made fun of Arman Sarukian, with whom he has a long-standing rivalry. The two have been disparaging one another for years, and Paddy still makes fun of Arman for withdrawing from a championship bout. This feud with Arman has a long history. On social media, the two have exchanged insults, with Arman frequently making fun of Paddy's talent, while Paddy responds by challenging Arman's celebrity status. However, that competition is beginning to seem inevitable now that both are vying for the title image. Things just got hotter in the lightweight division. Given that Ilia Topuria is now also a contender in this loaded division.
Yeah, that's another name, but let's see if he ends up taking the fight, because we all know what Arman's like. He'll shit his undies the night before and pull out, and I can't be dealing with opponents like that, you know what I mean? I want people who know will turn up, like Michael Chandler, because he turns up, and even though he knew, I think after the first round he knew I was going to beat him, he still come out and tried to finish me, but he couldn't, you know what I mean? Just like nobody in this lightweight division can, none of yous. I'm going to kill every one of yous.
Do you think you've got Ilia Topuria's attention?
I should have Ilia's attention, shouldn't I, El Chirito, you know what I mean?
You got a message for him?
I think now he should know I'm the real deal, you know what I mean? People still underestimate me, but I beat rank 15, got in the rankings, just beat rank 7. Now I'm rank 7 in the rankings, 7 fight win streak in the UFC, rank 7. Give me anyone. Ilia, I said I should be the one to welcome you to 155. We can do it now, buddy.